The WillCo Sports Power Hour features Williamson County High School athletics. The show is hosted by Charles Pulliam of the Williamson Herald and Garth Bolden of Gateway Tire and Service in Franklin. The live broadcast every week is brought to you by Tim Thompson Premier Realtors and aired on location at Tony's Eat and Drink in Franklin.
Well, welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the WillCo Sports Power Hour. My name's Charles Pulliam. I got Garth Bolden of Gateway Tire here. Happy to have everybody here. Garth, it's been another one of those really fun weeks here. Gosh, a lot of stuff to discuss here. And we got a kind of fun one, too, because we're going to talk a little football. We're going to talk a little basketball. We're going to talk a little cross-country still, too. I know you're all about the runners, man.
Yeah, I'm all about the runners, and, I can guarantee you we'll have a little bit calmer show tonight than we had last week. We had two big power football teams in here the other night and had a good time, and we'll discuss that a little bit here in a little while. But, we don't have this show without some really great sponsors. So, Charles, let's go over our sponsors list and let everybody know who supports us.
Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live here every Monday night at Tony's Eat and Drink, and we're brought to you by Tim Thompson Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota Cool Springs, Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, Trucking for a Cure, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, and John Mayer Builders. I got to say, it's we get to do this because of them, and we had a great show last week, kind of a pep rally of sorts, sending off the Page football team to the championships, recapping with Ravenwood after the state semifinals. It was a good run.
Yes, it was. And, I mean, two teams that, honestly, I guess you and I could say from early on during the season, we had our eyes on both of those teams as candidates that could make it deep into the run. We felt like Page could definitely return to the state championship as they did. Ravenwood just came up short. They defeated the state champion Oakland team and a few weeks earlier. So, hey, great season by both teams. Neither one of them wanted to end the way they did, but, we'll also get into that here in just a few minutes. So, leading into that, why don't you go ahead and touch on our Toyota of Cool Springs scoreboard and go over what happened in the state this week.
Well, that's the thing. One final showing here for our Toyota of Cool Springs high school football scoreboard here. Starting with Division II AA, CPA beat BGA 38-26. In Division IIA, Nashville Christian beat Columbia Academy 49-21. In D2 AAA, McKelvy scored, 5 straight touchdowns to beat Baylor 27-21. In the Class 3A championship, Alcoa, a 10-time in a row champion, beating Westview 40-21. In Class 1A, Mace beat South Pittsburgh 36-14. In Class 5A, Sevier County 27-20 winners over Page. Class 4A championship, Macon County 45, Melrose 14. In the Class 2A final, Marion County 17, Milan 7. And in the final high school football game of the season, Oakland defeats Houston, the defending champs, 42-20. That was a pretty good game there, but I think we were both kind of wondering who's going to come out of that. It definitely makes that Ravenwood victory at the end of October look a little different there. They're the only team to beat Oakland this year then.
Yes, and Oakland, year after year, they have such an incredible amount of athletes there. Their line, both offensively and defensively, and then they have a great secondary. So, I picked Oakland in that, and like you said, it does make that Ravenwood defeat stand out a little bit more for the quality of team that Ravenwood had. But, looking back on that, the CPA win, that didn't surprise me. BGA played much better than I thought that they would. I think BGA is probably one year out, especially with CPA moving up next year. I think next year, look at BGA and Franklin Road Academy to really battle for that top spot in that division. As we said, Oakland, that could have been a one way or another. It could have gone either way. McKelvy beating Baylor, that's a shocker. I was surprised at that, especially how McKelvy just came back and just really played so strong in that game. And to wrap up our season, the Page game, and you and I discussed that. What a heartbreaking loss for the Page Patriots. I hate it for them. That's a great group of kids. Coach Rathbone, you and I both think very highly of him. But, I don't care what sport it is. You cannot make that many mistakes and not win the ball game. I mean, you're not going to win. So it's not going to happen. And are we having some technical difficulty? Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, with that, we've got some decisions to make. We'll be announcing here real soon our Tim Thompson Premier Realty athletes of the fall from the fall, and we've got a few different players to take a look at. But tomorrow's a big day for some Page athletes. Mr. Football will be chosen tomorrow. Will be announced tomorrow. We've got Eric Hazard from Page, and we've got Brendan Ames from Page, both eligible of being Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee. Two huge opportunities there for that Page program to get some more recognition for what kind of players that they've had out there.
Yeah.
And as you said, Eric Hazard, 60 games. I mean, that's unheard of.
Thank you. I was trying to update our Facebook feed here, too, actually, so we might have had some audio issues there. But, Mr. Football Awards tomorrow. We'll see. We actually have Brendan Ames and Eric Hazard in Class 5A. You have Donovan Starr in Class 6A. In Division II AA, Caden Maribel, the quarterback for BGA, and Hudson Chance, the quarterback for CPA, who's actually a baseball signee at Tennessee. Plus, you get London Baronas for the Kicker of the Year possibility, and George McIntyre of Brentwood Academy in D2 AAA. So lots of guys up for the Mr. Football
several
Awards.
Of our athletes going for the big award in the state of Tennessee that we have recognized throughout the fall. And, best of luck to all of them. And, some quality athletes, and a lot of those going to big-time programs right there as well.
Well, I think we should probably end up just diving right in here. We have Centennial basketball in the house, and I know Coach Moore's right here. Let's go ahead and get Coach Moore to come on up here
do it.
and join us. Again, this show will be streamed on YouTube. We'll have it on Spotify, all that, later on this evening, too. So if we do have a little audio issue on the live side on our Facebook feed, we're going to have a lot more of that quality side coming up. But, Coach, welcome to the show. Great to have you. We're excited to chat some basketball here, man. Give us a little update. Where are we at?
Right now we are, I think, 5-2 overall. So, we're early into our season, trying to get our football guys sort of acclimated. And we had some unfortunate injuries and different things kind of lack from football season. So we're definitely not a finished product, but good group, and they're working hard, and we're just trying to get better each and every day.
Coach, you spoke of the injuries from some of your football players. How long are some of those players going to be out before you get them back, or some of them season ending, I guess, to where they may not be able to join you? How long before you get them?
We hope none of them are season ending, but, you never know. We've had a finger issue and a meniscus issue, so I think we're probably looking at 4 to 6 on most of them. So if you do the math, we got some guys coming back maybe end of December. So this will take us on into January, which, I think it's okay. Basketball is a tournament sport, so we want to be playing our best basketball in February, not in December.
So you'll get them back right at the time district play starts, and in the heat of the battle, you'll have them back then. Is that, am I reading that correctly?
Well, we start district this Friday. We played 2 district games before Christmas.
Isn't that –
wow.
We dive right in, right, Coach?
Yeah.
And we're certainly super prepared and ready for it, right?
we're not close to being ready, but we're gonna focus on the competitive part. And like I said, we'll be 8 games in before we play Brentwood next Friday. So these kids have been around and they know how to play ball. And, as a coach, I'm a nervous wreck because we're not prepared for everything, but we'll make it work. And sometimes the best teaching is to learn on the fly.
So, Coach Moore, going into district, have you had an opportunity to scout some of these other district teams? What are you seeing amongst the league that impresses you that you've seen thus far?
Well, Garth, last year I thought our league was the best in the state, and I think it proved to be true with Independence winning the state championship. But we graduated a ton of good players from our league, and I think this year it's just as good. And I was hoping I wouldn't say that, but I've seen almost every team in our league up until this point, and Franklin's really, really good. Brentwood's got a new coach playing a completely different style, but they've had a ton of success. You just look at our district records out of conference right now, and everybody's 6-1, 7-0, 5-2. So that leads me to believe that our district's going to be just as good as last year. And we came down to the last game. We could finish first or we could finish third, and unfortunately we finished third. But it's going to come down to one or two possessions. The tougher team, the mentally tougher team, is going to win those close games, which is going to help you, get a tournament seed at least.
Coach, tell us a little bit about some of the guys on this team. Obviously, we returned some familiar faces here too, and so far, we're excited to talk to one of your starters out here, but we could be talking to several of them, it seems like, here. It's been a good start for a couple of these guys.
Yeah, we've got really 4 guys that's got a lot of varsity experience. Kanai Johnson's a senior in our programs, played for 4 years now. I know some guys think he was so with Dom and Tanner and those guys but we got him for 1 more year, and he's actually came back from football and really
we sort of forget that Kanai is still there, but he seems like he's been around forever, Coach.
Yeah, I wish I had him for a couple more years.
Great athlete, that's for sure.
He is. He's a good athlete, works hard, and he's a football-first kid, but you can't really tell it. I tell you what he is he's one of the best competitors I've ever coached. And he doesn't always do things right on the court, but he'll take your ball. He'll go get that big rebound. He'll do the things that it takes to win games. And then our next 3 guys are all juniors. They're all sitting out here in the audience too. But we got Daniel Patton, who started every game last year. So he's got a ton of varsity experience. We're expecting him to have a great season. He's gone through a little bit of a position change. He's handling the ball for us a lot more right now. And then we got Carter Ezel, who was a starter last year as well. Carter's one of the best shooters I've ever coached. And it's one of those things that's not God-gifted. He's in the gym every day, works his butt off to be a good shooter. And, his season hadn't started like he's wanted it to, I know, because I wasn't a shooter, so I don't know what that life's like. But, he expects to make every shot. When he misses a shot, it's a big deal to him. And then our third guy is the guy you guys will talk to in a second, Ryland McKelvy. He started every game last year as our point guard. We've moved him off the point this year, and he's playing a little bit more wing, which is giving him a little bit more options to score. But, all 3 of those guys have a tough defensive assignment every night. Last year they got to they didn't have to guard the other team's best player. We had Tanner, we had Dom. Those guys kind of locked up the other team's first and second option, and they got what was left. This year they're figuring out that's a whole different deal when you
they got to work a little bit this year. Got to work. Nobody likes that D word, defense.
Coach, you mentioned how we're quickly going right into some district play here, but tell us a little bit about some of the teams you faced, some of the good things you feel like you've learned here right away. I know it's such a season in its infancy here, but at the same time, there's got to be a couple things you're pretty excited about, and obviously some things you want to work on too.
Yeah, we got so many new guys. Outside of those 4 that I just named, everybody else is either new to our program or they're a sophomore with no varsity experience. So everything that happens in a varsity game right now, it's the first time it's happened. So, everything is a learning, kind of a learning opportunity. And, we're trying to make practice competitive where that happens in practice so it doesn't happen in the first time in a game. But we've been really pleased with where we're at. We think we've played some really good people. We played Blackman, we played Siegel, we played Father Ryan. We played a really good schedule, and it's like I tell the guys, I want to be exposed. I want our weaknesses and our deficiencies to be exposed before Friday night. I don't want to leave out after the Brentwood game and say, man, we didn't realize we weren't very good on defense. And we've definitely played a schedule where all those things have been exposed. So hopefully that will get us ready to play our district schedule.
Coach, is Bontrager still at Father Ryan?
Yes, sir. He told me, I think this is year 44. And I don't know.
Still playing man-to-man?
It's a tough man-to-man, real physical. He's got a 7-footer that's signed with Northwestern.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
So they're pretty good.
That's an easy matchup, right, Coach? Yeah, nothing to it. Daniel's got him. It's fine. Yeah. Coach, before we get Ryland up here, give us a little introduction here. Tell us a little bit about this young man.
So Ryland is a junior in our program. He came to us from Freedom as a 9th grader. He's played varsity basketball for his sophomore year. Played JV as a freshman, and Ryland's a great kid, great human being. You can see his family over there to our right. He works his butt off. Not every day. I'll give him every other day, something like that. But no, he puts the time in, and I think he's seeing the fruits of his labor right now. And the great thing for us as a program is Ryland hadn't scratched the surface of how good he could be. He hasn't reached his potential yet, and he's got 18 more months to work at the high school level before I think he can really be a special player.
Ooh.
Well, Coach, if you allow us, we'll dive into the every other day if you want to. I mean, we're not bashful. We're not bashful in getting into the areas that we might need to touch on to make them better. We deal with humility up here really, really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would appreciate that. He needs all the humility he can get.
We got you, Coach. We got you. He's sitting over there nervous, though, because I could tell. Most players, they're always in tune. They sit over there and they watch, and they listen. Ryland's been sitting over there squirming side to side on that stool, and the head has been going down like, oh, no, any minute now I got to go up there.
If he just treats it like he does his stats class, he just talks. So I think he'll be really good.
Well, he better get on up here and see what these lights are on up here. Coach Moore, good luck. We're anxious to see you guys in district play, and hopefully, you'll be right out of the gate. You're the first basketball coach out of the gate this year, so hopefully you'll be right up there in the top again this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Everybody, Coach Jeremy Moore of Centennial High. If we can get our latest Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week, Ryland McKelvy. Join us up here, Ryland. Coach is saying some pretty good stuff there about this next 18 months or so here. Tell us a little bit about the start of this year before we dive into that future, though.
We just been really working hard at practice as a team, trying to get all the little things together, It's been really fun the first couple of games, and we're ready to start the real season.
It's a nice, easy.
Yeah, you just put it on a tee for him.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing. Here, before we do anything, too, I think you got a big family group here. Tell us who's all here in support for you.
All right, so we got 2 of my sisters, my 2 nephews, and then my mom and my dad.
Very nice. Very nice. Ryland.
And my brother. My bad. And my brother. My bad.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was absolutely terrible.
I have nothing to say, bro. My bad.
He's. I think you're gonna have to really do some apologizing outside of here for that. But let's be for real here. Coach Moore did have some really nice things to say about you, but he also said you take a day off here, there, and a little bit. Is that? I mean, now, honestly, I coached basketball for a long time. So now we're talking my sport that I can dive into. All right. So you've got a lot of depth right over there, starters. But outside of that, you got a lot of young players that don't have varsity experience. So when you get in practice, you don't have anybody that can really push you around and beat and bang. So therefore, you've decided to take a little bit of time off here and there, right? Is that what I'm reading? Because you don't have anybody to push you around.
No.
I mean, you forgot your brother, so you think that that you're gonna know how to tell the truth about how you've been practicing?
No. Listen. After a tough game, the next day's practice is kind of tough. My legs hurt. All of our legs hurt, and it's just a little slower than usual. But next day we get it back. We get it back and we run it.
Yeah, but you play on Tuesday, and you play on Friday.
Yep.
So there's not much time frame there to take a day off and then get ready to practice the next day. Because Tuesday, then that means Wednesday, you're not practicing worth a hoot. So then Thursday, if you practice really, really hard, you're going to have dead leg for Friday night. So you got to even this out.
I don't know,
Ryland,
man.
You got to even this practicing out.
Even after the days where the practice is as good, we're still finding ways to get better. So, we're good. We're good.
Ryland, I'm going to help you out here, man. Let's go.
Yeah, put him another one on. Yeah. Put him another one on the tee right there.
This
is my award that I'm giving away, so I can give you a hard time.
That's a beautiful name right there.
Let's go back
a beautiful
to
name.
the Centennial Thanksgiving tournament, man. The Cougar Classic here. Tell us a little bit about what went down there and how you guys did.
We came out first games, wanted to punch the teams in the mouth. We wanted to compete, and that's what we did. We're all unselfish with the ball. We had one goal, and we, for the most part, completed that goal.
Who'd we play? How'd things go? Things like that too.
First 2 games we played Riverdale and Kip. Those were fun games. But
Riverdale and who?
Kip. Collegiate.
Where are they out of?
Kip Academy. Nashville team. And then Wednesday was the real challenge against Blackman. That was they're a pretty physical team. They had 3 bigs. They were pretty good, but yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like that first game we got to talk a little bit about. You ended up scoring, I think, 23 in that one. Tell us a little bit about offensively what you try to bring to this team and what you saw in that game specifically.
I tried to stay aggressive the whole game. I have 2 other really good juniors on my team who are gonna trust me with the ball, who are unselfish. So yeah.
So Coach said you've had a position change this year. What kind of adjustments have you had to make there, not only on the floor but in your practicing? What have you had to really work on in that to make that change work?
I don't think I really had to change much. We play a lot of positionless basketball, so I'm doing a lot of the same stuff I usually been doing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, are you shooting outside shots? You penetrating now? You are you inside out? What have you? Are you short corner? Are you elbow? Where are you shooting from?
I'm everywhere. I'm shooting everywhere.
Oh, you're everywhere.
Everywhere.
So you're not bashful to throw up the rock.
Nah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what that means.
That was a truthful answer right there.
I think what he was trying to say is, hey, I could shoot from anywhere at any time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, all right.
Once again, you helped him. You put it on a tee for him.
We dive right into some pretty big district play here. Coach talked about it. Obviously, we're coming off, we have a defending champion in this league here, and there's a lot of balance again here. What are we going to see from this Centennial team to rise to the top and stay atop some of this district competition?
I think it all starts on defense, making sure matchups are good, making sure we, especially with Brentwood, take them off the three-point line. And, from there, we'll just play and we'll see how it goes.
So, in other words, for your success, you guys realize you've got to be more defensive. You're going to have to be more physical. If you're taking teams off the 3-point line, that means you're being more physical. You're bodying up. You're pushing them away so that they're not spotting up. Do you guys have the depth? When you play that kind of basketball, you can get into foul trouble pretty quick. Are you guys developing the depth to be able to fill into the gaps when you guys get into foul trouble?
Yeah, we have a couple dudes who will give us good minutes off the bench. I think me, Dan, and Carter are doing pretty good on foul trouble. I think we're gonna play 32 minutes a game pretty often. So, yeah, I think on that part we're pretty good.
Well, before we let you go here, tomorrow night we got a home matchup. I think it's Shelbyville, right? Tell us a little bit about what we're gonna see from the Centennial basketball team against Shelbyville tomorrow.
We're gonna come out. We play fast. We're gonna try to start it all on defense and see how offense will work out throughout the game.
I like it. Ryland, looking forward to following you guys and the rest of this group here. Congratulations on being our latest Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week. Got a plaque here for you, young man. Be sure to take a photo with some fam and everybody. But thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live here at Tony's Eat and Drink every Monday, brought to you by Trucking Fork here, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, John Mayer Builders, and so many of our great sponsors there. We're live on the Williamson Herald and Gateway Tire Facebook pages right now. But, hey, that was fun talking a little hoops.
Yeah, right out of the gate, we get Centennial in here, and that can be challenging to be the first team right out of the gate with us. Yeah. But, with Ryland and the other players that have joined him here tonight, if they can get some depth, Charles, they'll be all right. But they've got to develop some depth to be able to really make some noise. Because when you think about it, and you take a team like this that didn't have to play a lot of defense last year, this is an introductory part for them that they're going to have to really be more physical, and sometimes you can get in some foul trouble pretty quick. So it's going to be interesting to watch them because you can tell they're a very athletic team.
Lots of fun going to be following some hoops here. We're going to bookend our show. We're starting with basketball. We're going to close with basketball, but in between, we got some cross country to chat here.
Yeah, here we go with that sport that
I tell you what.
Oh, doggone.
We have a team here that competed nationally at the Nationals here. So I think if we don't mind, do we have a coach that wants to come up and kind of introduce everything here? Coach Doty in the house.
She's becoming a pro.
So we've had the girls on the show several times over these last couple weeks here, but we were going to have you last week, but we wanted that full thing here. If I'm not mistaken, Brentwood High is the 13th best cross-country girls team in the nation.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, where do we begin? Coach, tell us a little bit about this because qualifying for the national meet, I think that's just the second girls team from the state of Tennessee to do this.
That's
correct. You got to be nominated, I guess, or qualify to be able to attend. Is that correct?
Correct. So you have to qualify out of your region. So there's 8 regions in the country, and then California is its own weird region. It's the 9th. But you have to be top 2 out of your region or be the next 4 best teams at large. The Southeast region is one of the most difficult regions in the country to qualify out of. Mm-hmm. And we qualified by 1 point.
Yes.
Over the other girls' team that qualified in the past, Webb out of Knoxville.
Oh, yep.
So there was a couple minutes, the girls, Coach Rob and I think that was probably their best race all season. They were strategic. Everything came together. They just weren't out there running. They were making the moves when they were supposed to, and at the very end, results aren't final yet, and it's flipping us back and forth between second or third for around 2 to 3 minutes. And if there was any time for someone to pass out or their knees be weak, it was that moment. And when the results, said completed and they were final, our girls were 126. So they were 1 point ahead of third and only 7 points behind first. So it was a very competitive race, a very tight race, and the girls just rocked it.
And that second automatic qualifier sends you to Portland. What a race! And that's the thing. These girls, the way they ran as that pack. Can you kind of explain that a little bit? Because it was just an impressive run.
Absolutely. So both at the NXR race and then both at NXN in Oregon, one of the things that our girls are so talented in is we have, usually a really strong front runner, but then our 2, 3, 4, and 5, they're normally a pretty close pack within usually like 10 seconds of each other. And so that pack running really helps us keep those points, close and grouped, pretty close together to where that right there is kind of our sweet spot and our ticket that helps us be able to score how we do and qualify and move forward.
So, again, just getting this opportunity to be in the Southeast Regional for one, that opportunity, can you just really put it into perspective here, just how tough it is to be there and compete at that stage and then advance to that national stage, because this is such a rare thing for teams from Tennessee.
Absolutely. So, NXR in itself, it's a very competitive course. It has a 300-meter long dirt hill you have to run 2 times. The second time is up towards the finish. You have some of the best teams. You have Raleigh Catholic, or Cardinal Gibbons, I think is what it's called, out of Raleigh. You have Webb Girls of Knoxville, and a lot of those schools are private schools. So as a public school, getting to go in there, perform the way we do, Rob and I just said, go out fast your first mile, but come that second mile, that's when you're racing and that's when you're turning it on. Like the second time you run that hill, you're finishing on empty, as Nike says, and you're leaving it all on, the course. So getting to qualify out of there, especially last year, some of our girls were under the weather. It didn't really come together as we would have liked. Getting to get second by that really tight point and then go and experience everything at NXN like we did, it was one of those very special kind of Cinderella stories to where people kind of know who Brentwood is now, outside of Brentwood.
There you go.
So, Coach, to put that on a broader scale, 2 things. First thing, you said you're competing against private, public. It's all grouped in together.
11 states.
11 states. So, has any program in this area ever made it to that point that you know of?
Brentwood boys qualified. I want to say it was 2015. They placed 3rd at NXN. They did outstanding. Aside from that, it's been the Webb girls. We've had Farragut out of East Tennessee, and then the NBA boys have qualified as well before.
Pretty rare company, elite company there too.
Yes.
Coach, there's this team, this camaraderie this team shares. We've spoke about it a lot, but one more opportunity to just kind of dissect that group and this group at that table over there, just how close they are, how they feed off of one another, and how they push one another is very special.
Oh, absolutely. It's a really special group of girls. They have a sisterhood and they have a bond like I've never seen in 13 years of coaching. We have sets of twins on the team. We have sisters on the team to where it could be very easy to, get on each other's nerves, and I'm sure we do at times, but everyone's close. They care about each other, whether it is at practice, whether it's in the classroom and they're studying on the plane, whether it's their personal lives and relationships. Everyone truly cares about each other. And I always say, Brentwood cross country and track is so talented, but if you got to know them as individuals and young women, that's the most special part about them.
Coach, how do you, as a track coach, cross country, so much of our recognition are of teams. How do you, even though track, cross country is so much individual training and everything else, how do you keep them as a team? How do you keep that cohesiveness together? How do you do that?
We're really big on team culture and creating that fellowship and maintaining it. So not only do the girls, do things together on their own, we do pasta parties, we do things in the summer. They'll go to get smoothies after practice. They're such a great group of girls. They really just kind of click with one another, and there's so much that we provide as coaches, but there's so much that they just naturally end up wanting to do with each other, whether it's homecoming groups, whether it's studying together on the weekends. they just kind of do it on their own. They just get along. Somehow we're not all
So
sick
it's a
of each
bond
other.
that they have of appreciation for what each other does to work to be at that level, I guess, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
can they train together, or do
Yeah.
they can train
Yeah,
together?
they train together. They run in groups with one another. And like you said, it is individual. They're running individual times, but they also know that every single one of their points and how they run is what matters. So it really doesn't matter who's our first runner or whether it's one sister or it's another. It's as long as we can get those girls close together, they're running for each other at the end of it.
So we've had the opportunity to chat with a lot of the seniors on this team, and one of the juniors here in Lauren here. Can you tell us a little bit about her and introduce her to us, because she was selected as one of our recent Gateway Tire Athletes of the Week, and you know it's so tough in this setting to choose somebody.
Oh, it
and
is.
coming down the line, I know we've talked to Lydia, we've talked to Rachel, you know, we talked to a lot of these leaders here, but tell us a little bit about Lauren.
I think that Lauren embodies the elite student athlete that all coaches want to have. Whether she is working hard at practice, she's studying for AP, laying on the plane next to me, doing her flashcards, or if it's just her personality that drives the program and the fellowship that she brings to the girls. She always has a smile on her face. I don't think you can ever be around Lauren and not be in a great mood, you know? And it kind of shows. I mean, she had 4 of her good friends, you know, show up to support her tonight.
So they would be the ones over not
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
the black sweatsuits.
Yep. They're also my students for English.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so we kind of secretly set this up. We didn't tell Lauren they were coming.
Oh, well, I noticed they had some hugs over there when they walked in. So,
Oh,
you know.
big time. But Lauren's just, you know, that shining light that brings everyone together and keeps things positive even when, you know, it's hard to be, especially when we're at NXN. It's 40 degrees. It's pouring rain. It's muddy. You have every reason in the book to want to check out or say, like, I can't do this anymore. And then you have Lauren, who's just out there, and she's happy, and she's pumped, and she has her big smile on her face, and she's like, all right, guys, let's do this. You know, and it's hard not to be around her. Her charisma drives the team.
Coach, I think we got to bring Lauren up here now.
think so, too.
Coach Doty, thank you so much for some time introducing
you.
everybody, but let's get Lauren
Congratulations.
Banovac up here.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're brought to you by Tim Thompson, Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, and Toyota of Cool Springs. We have one of our recent Gateway Tire Female Athletes of the Week, and Lauren Banovac with us. Lauren, we got to hear some really great things. How do you recap these past couple weeks and what you girls were able to do?
It's been amazing. This has been our goal, like, the whole entire season. So to get to go to NXR and to qualify to NXN, I don't know, it's just something we've always wanted to do, and I'm, like, so happy we actually got to go and have a good race and have fun.
Well, we got to go back and let's talk about that regional a little bit, because as Coach described, the slimmest of margins to qualify there, to get that automatic bid. Tell us a little bit about that race and just how you and the girls were able to run.
Well, we always say every point counts. We didn't know, like, it actually would be that close. Like, 1 point is crazy. Like, that's kind of unheard of. Every point counts. So, like, every person had to pass, like, I don't know. Like, we all had to pass people.
That is a cliche, but you guys literally lived it. That point mattered. So, you know, to live through that moment, that's huge, because now you realize firsthand every point matters.
Exactly. It was very cool.
Well, when that, the flipping of the scoreboard at the very end, just describe that moment and that weight, knowing that you're either in or you're not, you might be, all those things. How great was that feeling when you guys knew you were going to Portland then?
Well, I think, like Coach Jody said, it was like 5 or 10, maybe 15 minutes. We didn't know if we made it or not, and we were all just, like, hugging and, like, I don't know, we were freaking out. We knew it'd be close, and we got to the tent, and then the results said final or complete, and we were like, oh my gosh, like, guys, we made it. We all hugged, celebrated. It was amazing. It was the best feeling ever.
Well, take us to this last weekend now as well, because seeing photos there, I mean, you're taking photos with Olympians, you're in the Mecca for running here. How cool was that to be a part of that?
It was one of the coolest experiences, like, of my life. Like, it was so amazing, like, being with all of those runners. Those are, like, the best in the nation. Like, I know a lot of them, their names. never met them before, so it was super cool, like, see them, be with them. I don't know, it was super cool. Like, it was just a great experience.
And then race day, we're met with some traditional Northwest ugly, rainy, muddiness, and not the warmest of days. Describe the conditions a little bit going into that race.
Like you said, it was very, very muddy. It was still a fun race. I mean, none of us ran our best times, but no one did. So it was all about going out there and having fun and still trying our best.
As a group here, describe what it meant to toe the line with those girls at a nationals like that, and just what was going through your mind, how you all responded at the end, things like that, because that's such a rare experience.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like, we always talk before, and we always like give each other strategies and stuff. And I don't know, I feel like we all executed our plan. We all ran pretty well for the conditions. It was just super cool for everyone to go out there and have fun and do our best.
Now, I know last month we chatted a little bit about this, just having this opportunity and how, winning a state championship again. This group has just kind of kept passing all these amazing tests, kept finding success in everything. To get to go out and run one more time with your sisters out there with those seniors a little bit, can you just describe how tight you guys are and just what it meant to race one more time?
I mean, these are like my best friends. I hang out with them every day after practice. I'm really sad that all the seniors are leaving. I don't know. We're just like, we're so close, and it's amazing to get to run with them and see them at school and hang out with them, tell them everything. We just have so much fun, and I'm sad to see them go.
So now you're the leader. The torch has been passed to you.
All the juniors, I guess.
I mean, you guys wear it well, right? You're gonna be just fine.
We'll be okay.
You'll
It's
be
still
okay.
sad, though.
How many of them?
How many
Oh.
juniors?
Yes, how many juniors?
There's like 7 on our team, maybe 8, something like that.
One thing we didn't chat about was just that. So obviously this team's so close. There's multiple sets of sisters on it. I know your twin sisters are part of this too. Can you tell us a little bit about just that relationship and how you guys support one another, but also probably push one another, and just how you get along as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we fight a little bit, but it's healthy competition. Like, there's a younger set of twins in the team, sophomores, and, like, they know. We can relate to them, bickering back and forth, but it's healthy competition. Like, in races, like, we're super close. Like, our times are really close and stuff, but it's motivating to have someone like my sister to push me and help me.
So all the young ladies that are over there in the black sweats were able to run.
Yes.
So did you guys have to qualify as individuals to be able to run in the race, or were you able to run as a team in that, or did you have to actually, qualify for it?
So how it works is there's 7 runners on varsity, and then 5 scores count. So top 5, like, their points are added together. So it's really a group effort. Like, you can qualify individually, but you had to get top 5 at regionals, and I don't think any of us are that good, but our team is, and
At least you're honest.
so yeah, it was a team effort, a group effort.
Well, I don't know about maybe not the most standout numbers and times we might see, but as a group, collectively, one of a kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah. Great runners here. Come
Yes.
on. Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of runners that didn't go.
There you
A
go.
lot.
I like it.
So
All right.
look at it as on that. Give yourself a pat on the back. I mean, you guys were there. You did it, and you finished 13th in the nation amongst all of those programs that are out there. That's pretty phenomenal. It really is, Lauren. I mean,
Thank you.
I hate running, so, I can just tell you it's a big accomplishment, period.
Thank you.
Well, tell us, I guess, what's next?
Well, we're taking our off week this week.
Just one week?
1 week. 1 week off. But we have indoor coming up, so I don't know exactly when those meets are, but we have indoor track, and then we'll have indoor state and all of those meets, which is super fun.
Lauren, is there anything else you'd like to mention or add or chat about?
I I guess I want to say thank you to all the parents. Like, they do so much for all of us. Like, they came out, they flew all the way to Oregon to watch us run, and we didn't even get to see them until the race day. So it was just, they're all amazing. I love y'all. And to the coaches, Coach Doty and Coach Rob. This is Coach Rob's last year, so we're sad to see him go. He's not here tonight, but thank you to Coach Rob if he's watching or if he sees this. And to my team and friends, love y'all.
Thank you. Congratulations,
You know,
Lauren.
she just literally
Went
spoke
down the
like she
line.
won an Emmy.
Yeah.
So you
oh,
know
that
what?
was good. Yeah.
We just got
needed
a
that
Grammy
music.
or an Emmy right up here with that right there.
Lauren,
Congratulations.
congratulations. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again up here as well. Everybody, Lauren of Brentwood High School, congratulations to our latest Gateway Tire
That's
Female
pretty
Athlete
cool.
Week. Yes.
I mean, it really is on the
13th
serious
in
side.
the nation.
Yeah, I mean, on the serious side. And one of the things that talks about their character and their want to show up, the conditions obviously were not great, and they still battled their tails off and didn't falter. I mean,
against the best of the best.
that's right. And I mean,
and that's just still thinking about that. And then-
congratulations, parents. You got some very good young ladies right there.
Yes. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour here. We talked about bookending with basketball. We started with the Centennial boys. We're going to close with the Franklin girls as well here. I know we got some in the house. We can get Coach Shaw up here first to kind of give us a little intro. I know she's probably really excited about this too. We love having coaches come up and describe players, right?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Coach, come on up. We're going to chat a little bit with the Franklin girls side here. Well, Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You know, we're excited to be, moving on from football. We got our hoops, we got wrestling, you name it. A little more indoor stuff. It's going to be nice.
It's the best time of the year.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're back in where it's warm.
Yes.
Climate control. There's a reason I coach an indoor sport
right.
now.
Coach, tell us, give us a little recap of these past few weeks here and what the start of the season's been like.
Yeah, it's been great. I couldn't ask for a better group of girls. Our theme this year is small but mighty. So we are really small in numbers, but that doesn't mean we're doing anything different. We're competing hard in practice is where it starts. We've started off great. I couldn't ask for, better attitude and mindset for the girls. We take it one day at a time, next challenge, next play, whatever it might be. And they've really answered every challenge that I've thrown at them.
Finding out some of the character of this team, some of that identity here. Tell us a little bit about what kind of most excites you about these coming weeks as we've been building, and we're going to dive right into some district play, obviously, before even the new year, all this kind of stuff. I guess, what are you really excited about?
Yeah, so our dynamic this year is a little bit different. We got a big spread of numbers of who we're playing in terms of grade-wise. Our starting point guard is a sophomore, so that's a little bit of a learning curve. We've been the Amy Elliott train for a while, so she's on to bigger and better things in college.
We saw her first points actually
she
just
did,
recently,
yes.
right? Yes.
She was still smiling ear to ear like she always does. So, getting behind a new point guard, learning things like that. And then we got the leadership from Cecilie, who's been a starter since freshman year, which she'll be here tonight, or here talking shortly. And then Josie Hammond has stepped up well. We've got a sophomore, Molly Forrest, that has been crushing it at a forward position. And then we've got a senior that is actually, this is her first year with us at Franklin. So she's still learning us. She's bringing a different element to our game. So it's been a dynamic. We're still learning each other, which is exciting because, basketball's all about peaking at the right times. I think we started off strong, but I think we're just scratching the surface of where we can go. And especially moving into districts, I like where we're headed. I know Summit, we got a big opponent this Friday. They're under new leadership with a new coach, but that's nothing that we should take lightly. It's still a good team, and they're doing just as well as we are right now.
So, Coach, you played at Franklin, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so I've got a question, and it might be a little bit of a tough question. But when you were playing till today, you said your numbers aren't as great as you like. What has happened to girls basketball? I mean, the numbers.
You give me a loaded question, man. You loaded question.
It's not just Franklin. It's all the programs seem to be down in numbers. What's happened?
Well, going back to when I was a player, my freshman year was actually the last time Franklin girls basketball has had a freshman team. And then over then, it's just gotten smaller and smaller. And again, it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
I am a multi-sport athlete, so I believe in our girls playing multiple sports. But the biggest contender is during school ball is a prime time for travel volleyball and soccer. And it's a competitive schedule that they roll with. And if they're more passionate with it and they want to be committed with that, then that's fine. But just means we got to deal with what we've got. And that means the next person on the bench is the next one up. So small and mighties are our mantra this year. I'm not sad about it. Of course, if we have people that want to come out, I would love to have it. But that's just kind of been the unfortunate truth about Franklin girls basketball, and then it's hit a few other other schools in our district as well.
I know it's affected Ravenwood goes years back. There was a guy that I coached with for years, Ron Brock. When he was at Ravenwood, I think
I was a player when he was at Ravenwood. Yeah. And then Tony Hill used to be here, was at Centennial.
Okay.
Yep.
But I remember volleyball. There was Madeline. What was her name? She's a volleyball player. She was Madeline Hudson. Was it Hudson or something?
Yeah, maybe.
She had a younger sister, Kat.
This was when they were playing for state titles.
Yeah. They gave up basketball to play volleyball, and I think I could see it then. It began to really shift a little bit. So
it's been a big shift, especially with volleyball and soccer, and now lacrosse has been thrown in the mix. Now that it's a Tito Soleil sport, which is another thing you'll have to cover this year. It's just popularity and numbers, and I mean it is what it is. I'm not in the business to be begging girls to play because they don't want to give it to me. So I'm gonna take the girls that I've got, the group that I've got that's passionate about it, and we'll make it work.
Well, thank you for answering it honestly.
Like I said, you got me up here, loaded question.
Well, and I didn't mean to put you on a soapbox on that, but it is the truth. It is happening, and I think you answered it spot on. I mean, it's sort of obvious.
Yeah, I know Centennial's low in numbers this year. Ravenwood's got a heavy freshman class, but overall they're pretty low in numbers. But then on the flip side, I know Paige and Nolensville were talking about possibly having a freshman team for the first time.
Yep.
So it's kind of hit or miss, but it's definitely an issue as of late.
Looking, at these first few weeks of the season and kind of looking around, seeing some stuff, what have you seen from some of these other teams in the district that kind of stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm keeping an eye on everybody, seeing what they're doing. At this time, it's something that I've got to be aware of how they're playing, but really at this time, focusing on us and getting better each and every game. Because I think if we look too far ahead, we're going to be shooting ourselves in the foot. So just taking it one day at a time, focusing on us, while still keeping an eye on those other teams.
I got you. Well, one of the players we get to talk to right after this and talk a little bit about, we want to know a little more insight here, too. You mentioned your junior leader here in Cecilie Brandimore. She's been a 3-year starter for you now already. She's made some crazy stat lines already. What have you seen from this young lady, and what really excites you here?
Yeah, she's also known as the double queen as of lately. I've been giving out little magnets at the end of the game that they can put on their lockers about different accomplishments. I was like, dang, I'm going to have to print some more magnets out for you, kid. No, she's been great. She's been a great leader for us so far. She's definitely someone that sparks our energy on the offensive side, and then on the defensive side, ripping boards, getting blocks. She's just going 100% at all times. Sometimes I'd say, whoa, slow it down. But she's always going hard, and that's something that we love as a coaching staff, is someone that's going to give everything, and that's what she's doing.
I think one of the things in trying to describe her a little bit, too, and just her style of play, she's, I think, in on every play. She uses her length so well. Can you just kind of describe what you see on the court from her and what kind of makes it stand out so well, too? Because she's, again, we're seeing 30-plus and 15-plus rebounds, blocking, steals, you name it. She's everywhere.
I mean, she's the best post player in the district, hands down. And I think she's taken that in stride. She's trying to develop her game even more on the outside, which has been a fun thing to watch this year. And, I mean, I'm just excited for this season. And we talked about districts a little bit, and teams are scouting. Teams know who she is, being a third-year starter for us. So I'm excited for her to watch her game develop, playing against teams that know us a little bit better and know kind of what we can do. But I think it just will develop her game even more. On the flip side, she's been a leader for us. Like I said, we had one senior that transferred in. So it's good to have a senior for upperclassmen and knowledge of the game, but in terms of knowing what what I want, what the coaching staffs want, what our team program is. She's really taken that in stride in that leadership role, and it's been fun to watch her develop over the years. And she's still got a long way to go, but I'm proud of her each and every day where she shows up.
Last thing before we get her up here, can you give us just like a little microcosm into a game here of a moment where it's like, man, how'd she do that or something like that? I feel like something has got to stand out game to game here for you, but just give us a little story of in-game action, what you see from Cecilie.
I mean, the best thing I tell the girls, especially on a big pivotal point, is getting a score, getting a stop, getting another score. And a lot of times that involves her, right? Getting that score. We look for her in the center of everything that we do. And then coming back on the defensive side, whether it's a block or a rip and a rebound, just being so tall, which is, you can't coach height, which we love.
Something you can't teach.
Well, yes. And so she's learning to use her body, not just for just how tall she is, but how to become a better basketball player. And so watching her in her games and even developing her ball handling a little bit better this year, it's been fun. Even though she makes me a little nervous when she gets those breakaway, full court stretches and I'm hollering at her. But it's fun to watch her game developed over these past couple of years. And, I mean, I'm excited. So, we've just scratched the surface in my mind.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Cecilie here. Coach Shaw, thank you so much for coming on and chatting little hoops with us and introducing one of your juniors here. But I think it's time to bring Cecilie on up to the stage as well.
Let's bring out the double-double queen.
The double-double queen. Thank you, Coach Shaw of Franklin. Again, we are our final guest of the night here at Tony's Eat and Drink. Cecilie Brandimore, our latest Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Cecilie, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Man, Coach is saying some really good things about you. How's that make you feel?
I love to hear it because I don't hear it a lot in practice. No,
Well,
I'm just
now.
kidding. No,
Now
we
we
love
go
all of
right
our coaches.
into
We
it.
love all of our coaching staff.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, Cecilie, wow, that's great. Hey, this has been a great start to this season here. Coach kind of touched a little bit on it. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen from the players' perspective here about this start to the year for Franklin girls.
Well, it's definitely been a hot second since we've had a start like this. I think that coming from the years past, it just took everybody by surprise when we started coming out pretty hot. I think that we're doing pretty good this year, and I think that we're going to stay on that track.
Well, that's staying on. How do you maintain that kind of, finding that confidence, finding ways to get wins, being successful? How do you keep it going?
I think that we're all learning to be able to play with each other more since we've all been playing. We're a really young team, but now that we have 4 juniors, so we're all finally learning how to play together good.
Tell us a little bit about your game and what you've kind of been working on and what's kind of been going right here, because we're seeing stat lines that are just kind of eye-popping stuff here. I mean, just the other night, wasn't it like a 38 and 15 and 5 blocks and multiple steals? It just seems like you're everywhere.
Thank you. It's definitely all a team effort. I could not do it by myself. I give a lot of the credit to everybody on my team, just learning how to play with each other still. And a lot of glory to God. It's not all me.
So, you've been gifted. You've been blessed. 6'2".
Yes, sir.
On the female side, that's huge. So, how have you had to adapt to your game from a freshman to where you are as a junior? Because I know as a freshman, you really were not seeing these kind of numbers or anything else. So you've had to put a lot of work in. What have you done in the gym to make yourself to where you're putting up 38 points? What's clicked?
I switched to an EYBL circuit this year, which humbled me pretty fast and taught me how to play with the best of the best and learn how to play with different skill sets and play in different circumstances, and being able to keep the fast pace even when you're playing really good teams, which has helped carry over a lot.
So for all of you that are in the house and watching, EYBL is the Nike League. Who are you playing with in EYBL?
Our EYBL, I play for Kentucky Premier, so a lot of the girls aren't from Tennessee. They're from Kentucky.
Is it still the one touch? You got to be from the state, touching the state, or have they opened it up even more now?
It's a little bit more open, but it's still like you got to be closer range.
Well, thinking about that experience and just kind of building into this season here a little bit, I guess what are you most excited about in terms of just finding yourself in a more elevated profile as a player out here?
It's really exciting. I'm still not fully used to it. I love basketball a lot, and being able to find all of those little wins in the big outcome was.
Well, I think Coach talked about being, she was one of those standout, do everything multi-sport athletes out there, and you were on the volleyball court as well too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us a little bit about just doing multiple sports and what it was like being a part of multiple teams and kind of weighing that out a little bit, because we're big multi-sport fans out here, so just want to know how you did that.
I'm definitely a big believer in being a multi-sport athlete. I think that it helps. It can just help you in so many different areas, but basketball is definitely like what I lean towards more. So playing volleyball was great, and I love all of the girls, but it just gave me more of a love for basketball.
Was there something that you do on one side that helps the other, something like that? Can you kind of describe how that might help you playing volleyball or not?
Playing volleyball helped me jump higher a lot, so that was a big weigh-in factor on if I was going to play again this year, but vertical is very important in baskbasketball, so.
It would have to help with your coordination, too.
Yes,
right?
sir, a little bit.
Because you're definitely moving at a totally different lateral and everything else. I'm sitting here thinking, it's been a minute, as you said, since Franklin had a start the way you guys have, but you are at a level. If you're playing EYBL, and I'm sitting here thinking, because like I said, this is about the third or fourth time I've said I coached for a long time. EYBL was just coming about when I stopped, when I gave the coach. You're playing at a level that there's not very many players in this area that are playing at.
No, sir, there's not.
You've given up the travel volleyball to definitely dive in and focus on basketball as your sport. If you're playing EYBL, you can't play any other competitive sport outside of that.
Yes, sir. I play volleyball for school, but I'm not a travel volleyball player. Basketball will always have my heart.
So you're practicing. You go to Kentucky, practice on Saturdays, right?
No, we don't practice for
You don't practice at all?
Yes, sir.
So show up and play.
Yes, sir.
Tell our listeners where all you guys play.
We've played in some bigger tournaments like Chicago and Pennsylvania and Illinois.
There's a circuit to qualify. Do the girls have Peach Jam like the boys do? Do they have a Peach Jam?
We have Nike Nationals. That's the tournament in Chicago.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, to your teammates, the work that you're having to put in to be able to play EYBL, I'm sure that you can tell them, just give me the ball, right?
No, sir. Our team works as a rhythm. We just got to the point where
38 points. Just give you the ball. Good Lord.
No, sir. I don't even think I have a fully green light yet. I got a yellow light.
Oh, now.
Yellow.
Okay.
My freshman year, we had something called a hard stop sign. I wasn't even at the light yet. And so now that we're working with a little bit of a yellow-green light area, it's a different way of playing.
What's the distance? What is your, yes, you have the green light here. No, don't step outside there.
Well, threes was the no, but now threes is a hard maybe. Just depends on the situation.
Okay. A hard maybe.
So it's got to be straight ahead, right?
Yes, sir.
If you're at the top of the key, you can shoot, but if it's from the wing, no.
You know what they say, it's easier to say sorry than to ask for permission.
Well stated. Oh, man.
We're getting real at the end of the show tonight.
I
love it.
Well, let's get a little taste before we let you go here and wrap things up here. Going back to a really good win, knocking off Hillsborough, tight game. Tell us a little bit about that game, because that was the one, I think, where we did have 38, and that's a career high, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir. It is a career high, and that was a really good team. So to be able to pull out that one was very important to us, and especially with them being so competitive. They're low in numbers, but they're still a really big win for us.
62-56 victory. How were you and the girls able to pull that one out?
That was one of the games. We all looked at each other. We were like, we got to lock in for this one. This one can't be a joke around game. This one, everyone did great. It was a really good team effort, and everyone, I think that was a team win. That wasn't like a personal win.
You just ended up having, a lot of cleanup and a lot of little stuff here and there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just a team win.
So wrapping it up, moving forward, you guys are opening up in district, and I'm sure you guys have already started scouting and so forth. So what are some of the teams that, Charles and I, besides Franklin, who do we need to pay attention to this year? Who are you seeing out there that's really going to be tough for you guys?
I think that Brentwood and Page are our biggest rivals for sure. But again, like Coach Shaw said, I think that we're just trying to focus on ourselves and focus on how we can get better instead of what everyone else is up to.
This is well said. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. She's not only tall, she's pretty well spoken. And you tell her like it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brutal honesty
she
is
just doesn't say
something
those
we-
nice things about you in practice.
I like how
No, it's all jokes.
talking about how we've evolved from a hard stop to the yellow here. This is all good stuff.
Yeah, we'll hold up. We'll hold up the green card.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
No? Yeah. Oh, no, man.
Maybe.
Hey,
Never know.
a hard maybe. We'll stick with
Hard
the hard
maybe.
maybe. I like that. That should be on a shirt maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Congratulations.
Thank you
You've
so
definitely
much.
earned this. I mean, 38 points and against a really great program. The Hillsboro Lady Burros, they've really been season after season a strong team to contend with. So, that's putting up some great numbers against a good squad. So
Thank you so
congratulations. We wish you and all the Lady Admirals the best, use those right there. You've earned those
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got to take
I
those
can
back to the
absolutely-
table.
We don't
yes.
just give you a plaque, we give you a free meal.
thank you so much.
We're nice like that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cecilie Brandimore of Franklin High School. Congratulations to our latest Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Yes, welcome to. Again, we started with basketball. We talked a little running. We closed with basketball. A good Monday
Yeah, we back
night
into
here.
the sport that I know something about. That running stuff, oh, Lord, no.
Hey, nationals here. We have.
Well, I understand that. I mean,
it's
believe it or
pretty-
not, I did coach a team one time that finished third in the nation. Thank
There
you very
go.
much.
There you go.
So, hey, I do know a little bit about the round ball.
One more quick shout out to our great sponsors out there: Tim Thompson, Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota of Cool Springs, Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, Truck and Fork here, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, and John Mayer Builders. Garth, it was a fun show. I always enjoy these ones.
Yeah, it was. It's sort of hard to shift on us from football. Now we're into the round ball, and we got to get our heads around all of that. But we wrap up one sport, or not one sport, several sports, and now we move right on into some other. And I know now we're moving into your favorite, wrestling.
We got some wrestling
And-
too, some
and
big
so,
tournaments coming, lots of stuff to come. Be sure to check out the Tim Thompson Premier Performers list. It'll be on the Williamson Herald website tomorrow evening and in the paper
typically
Thursday.
you put that out on Tuesdays, and we'll be announcing here real soon our schedule going through the holidays. We've got to determine Charles and our schedules of being in town and out of town, and so we'll be announcing that real soon. But you know what? Once again, a great show, a great participation out of these programs that were here tonight. Great attendance, and we certainly appreciate that. Appreciate all of our sponsors, and check out Charles on Instagram. What's your Instagram page again?
My name's CS Pulliam _sports. Yep,
And
lots
then,
there.
And then your Twitter.
At CS Pulliam. My last name, Pulliam.
Yeah,
Yep,
check him
lots
out. He's always
there.
posting everything. And then the Williamson Herald, can't beat it.
Yep.
Comes out every Thursday, so pick it up. Come by Gateway Tire. We got plenty of them that you can pick up there as well. So, Charles, thank you for everything you do. Thanks, everyone, for being in attendance tonight. And thanks to all of our viewers and listeners. We appreciate all of y'all. We'll see you again next Monday night right here, same time, same place. Good night, everybody.
Tim Thompson, Premier Realtors, a local realty company that has been in operation for more than 40 years. Tim has the personal motto of no excuses, just results, and that's the approach and superior service you'll receive at Tim Thompson, Premier Realtors. Allow Tim and his team the privilege of assisting you in accomplishing your real estate dreams. Check them out at timthompsonpremierrealtors.com.